is new again, walking with a permagrin, head so high. I'm back with you and all is right. Shaking on the apple tree, ticking off the honeybees, watch them fly. It's just like we never said goodbye.
Guys, what's up? It's NihonTiger. How you doing? Welcome back to NeoCraft. It's been a little bit. I've been kind of distracted and busy this week, so I haven't been able to get on as much as I wanted to get stuff done. Let me back away from the portal. But as you can see, our portal is still in one piece. I guess we do have fire protection turned on because these coal blocks aren't igniting. I'll be okay with that. If they ever start catching on fire, we will have to swap that out for something else, and I don't know what. We kind of need a black block to tie it together, and I don't want to use obsidian if I have to. Obsidian's actually kind of like a dark purplish black color. Not so much the pure black that I'm looking for that. And there's another zombie. Hello. There you go. Sword is starting to break down a little bit. That's no good. But today, where's the moon is? It's jumping a little bit, but it's fine. It's going down, so we have a couple minutes left before sunrise. But I thought today that we would kill some zombies and work a little more on the fortress. Good old Guardtowers. So today I thought maybe... Oh shit! Ow! Ooh, that was a bad one. Where did he come from? I don't know how much space I've got to light up. I feel like maybe I have to light up a couple hundred blocks just to be safe. Because these guys are just coming from like halfway across the map that can kill me now. And Motor Breath just fell. It used to be daytime, damn it. But yeah, I thought we would work a little bit on these kind of, they're not really guard towers, but they're more like just ramparts. Is that the word I'm looking for? I think that's the word I'm looking for. They're kind of these towers. They basically are kind of guard towers, but they're basically places where people would go in the olden days and just shoot arrows out of, so kind of spots for archers. So let's see, it's one, two, I think that was 6. Sometimes it's the problem when you're building your shell with all the same blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that only 5? Hold on, I am gonna have to jump down here real quick and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just 5. Okay. That was a little bit more than 5, but I guess not. So we have... Oh, a little bit of lag. Lag's gotten a little better, but it's still kind of bad on here. The positive is that I can actually do stuff. So it's 6. And the idea here is that we're going to build these up 7, 8. Build them up 9 blocks high. I think that's the level that I had them built up to in my build world. Okay, so that's 9. And I do need to pilfer some wood from yonder tree farm area-ish. Even if it's not a tree farm, we'll make it a tree farm. But I do need to kind of go ahead. How are my boots doing? My boots are fine. I had to make new ones, that's right. So my armor keeps breaking. I probably need to start making diamond armor now that I have enough diamonds to do that. But I'm lazy. I'm lazy and I don't really care too much. Yet. Go away. Go away. Get dead. Thank you. But, oh, I left my axe up there, didn't I? The sun's coming up. Yay! Awesome. So the idea kind of right here is that we're going to have this wall around my fortress. And for those of you that remember my old fortress, it also had a wall. But it was lacking something that I think is going to make this one a little better. Is it was lacking these towers at various intersections of where the wall joints would be, which is kind of how I constructed the real towers. If you ever notice the walls on those towers, usually wherever there's a bend, there's kind of like a rampart or a guard tower in that spot of some varying size. Some are very small and narrow and square, and some were larger and circular. But it kind of depended upon what the needs of the castle were. So we're kind of going to do the same thing. We're going to make basically a bunch of different towers, and most of them will be in the same size, but they'll kind of be of varying heights and maybe even some varying styles. I don't quite know yet the idea of how I'm going to flesh them all out, but it's entirely possible that I could end up making 3 or 4 different tower designs. There's a spider and the skeleton. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab as much wood as I can initially here, because it's going to be really important. We're going to need it both for the central posts for the ladders that will go up through the middle of the tower, and we actually need them for the ladders themselves. I don't have any wood on hand. Any saplings I can replant, please? No? Oh, bummer. I really don't want to just come in here and strip all these trees out and then have just a bunch of blank space. I would like to go ahead and replant, ideally in the same spot if I could. I think that would be oh, there's a sapling. I think that would be a great way to do it. I usually try to replant. If I take a tree, I try to replant it in the same spot that I took it from, just to kind of keep the aesthetics a little similar, so I'm not just stripping, the countryside for its trees. It seems a little extreme to me, and there we go. And the rest of these I'll just take and start using towards building a tree farm of my own. Spider seems happy about something. Okay, so this one doesn't need... I can just take that one, and this can all become planks, and then huge number of sticks. And yeah, so today I'm kind of going to wing it a little bit. I had some show notes for stuff I was going to talk about, but it's kind of outdated, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm in the process of trying to have something else in mind to talk about, and I do have something else in mind to talk about, and it's a little relevant. But for those of you that pay attention to the internets and the YouTube community and whatnot, there's a bunch of new ways that are kind of popping up for people to get paid to make videos that don't necessarily require joining a network, or even for that matter running ads on their channel. So you have stuff like Patreon, and what is the other one? Subbable. Yeah, Patreon and Subbable. I think that's how you say it. It may be Patreon, like patron, but different, I guess, because they wanted to copyright the word, and that's how you do that. That's how we kind of do that with business lingo. Come up with some word that sounds like another word, but it's a word you can trademark, like Xfinity or Infinitable. Oh, wait, no, that actually is a word. But yeah, these are kind of new services, and basically the idea behind them is instead of, they kind of work a little bit like the Twitch subscriptions do, except you're paying someone. Except you're not having to. You're not paying someone because, oh, well, I like so and so, and they stream, and I can buy a subscription from Twitch to watch them, on their stream for X amount of money. This is more kind of a donation where it's like, hey, I like this guy's work, or lady. There are several ladies, like I think Grafoniak is one of the first people I remember who actually had it, and she is lady. But the idea here is that you kind of have these places where fans can go. I think maybe I'll do it like this, since it's on a corner. This is going to be a corner one. So I kind of, normally I would do, if it was straight on like this one over here, it's going to have its blocks removed right here in the middle. But since this is a corner, I don't really want to have to worry about having a certain size. So I may just remove this right here in the middle and then have this as a walkthrough. Then I'm going to have the spruce wood here. And we'll pillar up. Do I have a crafting bench, right? Let's just make sure I have a crafting table before I go ahead and rush off and start doing this, because I don't want to be doing this all of a sudden and realize, oh, I don't have a crafting table. I need to get more wood to do that. I think so. No, actually, no, I don't. So why don't I go ahead and I'll just waste one log. This will be enough. It wasn't going to be enough for 2 full ones anyways. So, or more than 2 full ones. It was going to be enough for 2 full ones, based on my design, because these go up 9 blocks, and then this would be 2 plus 2 left over. So, yeah, but the idea here, I'm talking to myself and I'm losing track and I'm distracting myself, but the idea here with these new things like Patreon and Subbable and whatnot is that you are more directly supporting your YouTuber, or it's not just for YouTube, it's for all kinds of things that people are doing. So if maybe, let's say you want to make puppets for a living, you can go ahead and set up a Patreon. Well, Subbable is more for YouTube and Twitch stuff, but Patreon's more just for kind of general everything. So if you want to say let's say I want to make music, and I want a way to have people so they can give me $5 a month, and I might throw a download their way, a special download or a special jam session or some kind of benefit. There's got to be some kind of benefit to do it. That's how obviously people will be interested. But kind of the idea behind it is it's an alternative to having to go through and do the YouTube ad route. So a lot of the YouTube guys and gals are having no YouTube ads as one of their early donation goals. And then usually the last donation goal is something along the lines of, oh, if we get to X amount, I will quit whatever I'm doing and I'll do YouTube full time. So that is kind of a thing that's been going on lately, and some people don't like it. Some people I know have said that why are you doing this? Isn't YouTube ads good enough for you or whatnot? Can't you just be happy with getting that? Is this the way I had it down here? I'm trying to make sure the design looks right. Is it this way? Yeah, it might have been this way. Let me flip it around real quick. I want to see if I had it the other way and if that looks better. But there are some people who are kind of like, oh, it's just a cash grab, They're just interested in making money. Well, of course they're interested in making money. That's why they're doing this in the first place. They're interested in trying to make money in a different way than having to rely on YouTube ads. I think I had it this way, actually, now I think about it. So it's kind of weird. It looked good. It didn't look good when I first thought I set it up like this, but I looked at it from the ground and it looked a lot better because you could see more texture on it, I think, in the design. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Let me take a look again. I might want to change it back. But yeah, the idea behind these is, it's an alternative way to make money, and I will have to say Yeah, you know what? I think it looks okay. Obviously, it'll be a little bit different in the long run here. I'm going to have to... Yeah, I think that's alright for kind of a battlement. Oh. Hey, you. Eskimo Joe's on. Yeah, but I think that looks okay. And if I want to, what I can do is I can flip-flop these around so they're not all the same like this. And I might do that. I think that'd be a cool way to go about it. So, I think I wanted to break these two here. And I mean these two here. And then kind of do the same on all the sides. So, these two here, and these were kind of my little windows, so to speak. And then that would mean these two here. Just kind of give it a little bit more of a towery look. Okay. And then I think the other thing I was thinking about doing that I hadn't done yet. Oh. Totally missed that jump. I don't think I have enough blocks to do it. Is I might want to make the base a little wider at the bottom. Just to kind of give it the idea that it's not the straight tower, but it's kind of got a little more room underneath. So maybe like bring it out one block around the edge here on the bottom. I think that would make it look really nice. But we might have to do that later unless I have enough blocks here. Why don't I just do it? Yeah, I'll just do it now. So that way I can tell if I'll like it when I do it for the other ones. So do it like that, and then this comes out here. And then, oh, I don't need to do that. That's gonna be fine because it's just gonna be ornamental. But yeah, some people don't seem to like the whole subbable Patreon thing, and I would say it's possible that this kind of stuff could be abused. And you know, my advice is always kind of the same with anything like the Kickstarter, or because that's kind of also what it's like. It's a little bit like Kickstarter except for YouTube. Some people, or at least that's what some people would say it's like. But yeah, my advice is pretty simple, which is, you know, do your research before you sub to anyone. Take a look at their page, figure out, okay, what are they offering, and is the value worth it? Is it going to be, you know, something I regret in a couple months when I think about it again? Is it even going to be something I regret next month when I think about it? Because it's you are making kind of a contribution to this person's livelihood, and you don't just want to be like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then decide all of a sudden that you know, I've made a terrible mistake and I wish I hadn't given this person money because, you know, so and so did X, Y, and Z with it, and they promised me they wouldn't do that and whatnot, or they promised me they would make this change and they never made this change, and now I'm out my money for nothing. There's always kind of a buyer beware thing with any Kickstarter or anything of this nature, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, everyone who's doing this is kind of a snake oil salesman. In fact, most of them, I would say, are not. They're actually just trying to figure out a way to make a living without having to be so tied to YouTube, because YouTube makes so many changes all the time with just not only with the network, but with how partners work now. They've changed that. So, you know, people who had benefits from being in a network don't have those benefits anymore for the most part. A lot of people who were kind of in that group kind of lost any of the special benefits they had because they've changed the way that YouTube's changed the way that they've conducted business with the networks. So they're probably a little nervous themselves, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. I think that's a perfectly reasonable reason to go to these alternate methods like Subbable and Patreon and whatnot. But yeah, it's always one of those things where you just want to do your homework, and it's also one of those things that could become really, I guess, oversaturated in time. And that's probably one of the things I worry about the most is, you know, what's the situation going to look like in 6 months? Is everybody going to be trying to do subbables and Patreons and whatnot? And what are the promises going to be for those people? What is going to, you know, eventually, what is this whole thing eventually going to turn into? And for me, it is something I've considered, but I have a significant disadvantage that has kind of, I guess you could say, disincentivized me from doing such a thing. I kind of want to see how this looks. I might want to go over there and see how that looks. But the disincentive that I have, and it's a fairly simple disincentive, is a lot of these people who are doing the subbables and whatnot, they're either doing it full time and trying to supplement, you know, YouTube ad income, or perhaps one day eventually replace it, depending on how much they generate. Oh yeah, it looks really nice. I might want to change those to half the steps instead of full blocks, but that looks really nice. I like that. I think that looks really good. I do want to make one small change here, if I can, without it ruining the atmosphere too much. And I want to, if I can, just kind of do something like that. Maybe change the slope a little bit there, make it look not so obvious. I'm going to kind of try and hide where the edge of the tower is. I think that's better. I think it looks really nice. It looks a lot better now. Let me just come on up here and take a look. And of course it's raining. Yeah, I think that'll fit in. I think that'll look nice when it all kind of comes together. I might actually even want to go ahead and throw down another dirt block here, and that will look a little weird, but let's go ahead and do that and see how that looks. Just a little terraforming work to make it look nice and pretty. Oh yeah, it looks great now. I like that. I can deal with that. I think that's going to be a nice addition to, let me make sure. I think I might even be able to add like one more block down there and there if I really want to, and really want to make it look like it's natural generation instead of fake block placement. But yeah, that looks really nice. So, as I was saying, I have thought about jumping on board this bandwagon, but I've run into two problems. And my two problems are very simple. One, I don't have a distinct need to do this because I'm not doing YouTube full time. So I don't have this distinct need that I need to supplement my income. And that actually also ties into number two with, you know, with YouTube stuff, with this extra Patreon subbable stuff, as much as I would like to. And I don't even have the audience for that, which I guess the other problem I have is that I don't really have anything additional that I could give subscribers that I wouldn't give to everybody else. And I've seen some people who've done these things who have decided to say, okay, well, you know, obviously you'll get some perks, but you get perks like you get some people have been like, okay, I think Pahimar, one of his is he's the guy who does the equivalent exchange mod. He runs ForgeCraft, but one of his is he's gonna do chat. He's gonna like Google Plus Hangout chats with people, and that's pretty cool. That's all right. I don't mind that. That's something that he doesn't have to take the time out of his day to do, but he's gonna do it anyways. So that's pretty cool, and I think that would be worth perhaps paying a little bit to have. But I've seen other people who are, you know, obviously doing ads is one thing. That they've talked about doing like special streams only for, you know, her Patreons only or stuff like that. Stuff that kind of makes things a little exclusive. And I'm not so much a fan of doing like Patreon only stuff. Like, if I have fans, I want all of them to be able to do stuff. And I know part of the reason that people are doing that is because they don't want people to be hanging on. Oh, careful. Ooh, okay. But they don't want people to be doing this and being like benefiting from other people's donations. I think it's probably the big reason why. That. But to me, it's just I have no interest in doing that. If you want to do it, more power to you. That's obviously a decision that you have to make with your Patreon, Kickstarter, whatever have you. But for me, it's just kind of a little bit too much. So let me, while I'm here, why don't I go ahead and try and give you guys an idea of style-wise what I'm going to be doing with the towers. Oh. Go away. And I eventually have to decorate these properly, but I'm going to be doing something a little bit like this, where you'll kind of have this mishmash of rock and smooth stone and cobble and brick and maybe some mossy cobble if I can find it, and some cracked mossy brick if I can find it. But that's going to be a whole different situation, because that's going to be a really hard thing to find. And then this is all going to be turned into, I think I want to turn it into cobble half slabs maybe up top here, just to kind of accentuate it a little bit more. These will stay as brick for the most part. I might take one or two out here and there and replace it with a cobble stair. And I might also flip them around just to give them a little bit different look here and there. But yeah, for me, the problem is that some of the things that people are doing, I don't necessarily want to do myself. And as I mentioned, I really don't have any needs or anything that I can give you guys that I wouldn't already be doing. So for example, I don't need to build a new computer. I have one. I have a nice shiny computer that I didn't win, but this is the nice one that I had built for me just over the summer. So I don't really need, additional parts or anything like that for the computer. So I'm not really hurting in that aspect. And I don't really need faster internet, because my internet is just about as fast as it can go. And I checked with Time Warner the other day, and they only offer a faster download speed. Their uploads, the upload speed I have right now is the fastest upload speed they have. So the next level up is the highest level of service they offer, and it's the still came through the portal, so that's good. But it's the only other one I can get that would be any kind of increase, and all it does is just give me a faster download speed. So it doesn't really affect my upload speed or anything like that. So it wouldn't help me with streaming too much. Oh my goodness, this looks nice. Who did this? Is this Mac? Mac must have done this, or somebody. But wow, this looks really nice. Oh, and by the way, we're going to be going around the server pretty soon and doing a little tour at some point, because a lot of people have builds I haven't visited yet. But this is Mac's place. He has, I think this is his western town that he's doing. He's doing like he's doing a western themed town out here, and it looks really cool. I've seen it on the overviewer map a couple times, but it looks really nice. He's got all his podzol all over the place to kind of give it that dirty look. It looks awesome. I love it. And he's been working really hard on this. He does a really good job with his builds. He's got even like a little stagecoach. That's really cool. Awesome. Wow. It's still kind of a work in progress, as you can see, but it's not a bad start. Not a bad start. But yeah, with all these alternate ways to do it, I mean, I can't really say I need new stuff, or there's a few things I would like. There's a few things I would wish for. I'd love a capture device that could do streaming with console games. I would love to have enough money just to walk out, to store right now and go buy a mic stand for my mic, because right now it's sitting on my desk. And I would love to have something else. I don't know. Faster internet would be nice, but I don't necessarily need it. It's not like I can give you guys anything additional as far as videos. I'm still pretty full on my plate as far as recording and editing and whatnot goes, and I can't quit my job to do it full time. And I don't have ads that need to be taken out of a video on YouTube or anything, because I don't really run ads on any of my videos. So yeah, it's like, what can I thought about this, and it's like, what can I give people that they don't already get from me? And the answer I've come up with is nothing. I can't really give people anything, so there's almost no point in me actually going out and doing like a Patreon or a Subbable. Subbable maybe a little bit more, because Subbable is kind of, you can give me money. I don't know. I'd have to look at Subbable again, but I think really there's just nothing that I could provide additionally that would be of worth to people that they don't already get from my channel. Like, I would love to be able to do this full time in some aspects, not so much all aspects, but some aspects. There's a little bit of me that would like to do it full time, because there's a lot of stuff I would like to record and play, and I just don't have the time for it. But it's more or less that would more or less be like a total pipe dream for me, or for a lot of other people at this point. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I don't necessarily see, like some people are excited to see, Patreon and Subbable as these evil things. I don't necessarily see it as being evil at all. I think it's just a way to make money, and I think it's acceptable from what I've seen so far, because people aren't doing stuff that sure is a little more acceptable than having to deal with some of the things that have happened lately with YouTube and ad partnerships and whatnot on networks, and like the machinima stuff where they were paying people an additional $3 per 1,000 impressions to say good things about the Xbox One, and that got a whole lot of people kind of in a hissy fit, and rightfully so. And I'm sure I could spend a whole episode talking about that, but I'll just say that, anything that kind of steers people away from that and gives them the ability to have their own independent voice is a good thing. I think that's very good. I like that that's an option or it's going to be an option for a lot of people. And whether or not I do any stuff like that is still to be seen. It probably won't happen. I could say almost like 90% certainty it won't happen. And let me actually finish this off since I'm so close. I think I just need two of those since it's 7 up top. But here, let me switch that. But for me, it's something that I might subscribe to somebody if they offer a good enough reason to do so. As far as incentive wise, I haven't really seen that yet, or at least the ones I've checked out. I haven't really said, oh, I gotta do this right now. But it could be good. It could be a good thing for a lot of people. And for those who are taking that route, I do wish them luck, especially if they're trying to break free of having YouTube as their main source of income 24/7. I think that's a good thing to kind of diversify. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like that. I think that looks really nice, actually. It's a nice start. I put the iron bars here in the windows just to kind of give myself a little bit of texture as well, and something that's a little less, I guess, little less blobby. I guess would be a good way to describe it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna work a little bit more on the old fortress here, and I'm gonna say goodbye for now. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little talk I had about the Patreon subbable stuff, and if I had any plans for it, which the answer is no, I don't. But hopefully you guys will at least stay tuned for more. I would definitely appreciate that, even if, even if some episodes are not as super exciting as others. We're still working on the fortress here, and hopefully we'll have this start to come together pretty soon. I've got more ideas on how I want everything connected. We also are going to start work here very soon on building a bridge from here to here, and I'll get rid of that temporary bridge. So as always, guys, good luck, good mining, have fun, and I will see you guys next time here on the NeoCraft server.